Hi students, welcome for the form filling video of Krea University specifically for liberal studies. If you are looking forward to fill your application for Krea University, you're looking at applying for the liberal studies school, I'm sure you would need help and support for the form filling, and here we are giving you all the details you need for the form filling. Before we start with the form filling, it is extremely mandatory for us to know what are the documents which will be required for this form filling. So make sure while I give you the list, you keep everything ready on your laptop or your desktop. So the list goes. Make sure you have your photograph ready. It has to be in a JPEG format and with the given dimensions of 200 pixels tall and 150 pixels wide. And it should not exceed more than 502 KB. So make sure of that. If you are a domicile of Andhra Pradesh and if you are declaring it in the application form, make sure you support that with the domicile certificate of Andhra Pradesh. Most importantly, your mark sheets. Krea University would require you to upload your mark sheets for standard 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So if you don't have a school issued mark sheet or a grade sheet, kindly request for a duplicate one and make sure that it is uploaded on your laptop or your desktop in a PDF format. Also make sure that the size of each PDF is not more than 2 MB. If you have applied for SAT or ACT, the latest test score sheet would be required. So make sure that is again applicable. Now, this is only applicable for students who have applied for SAT or ACT. In case if you have not applied, then you don't really have to worry. Also, most importantly, the certificates. So in case if you have taken an online course or if you have done any kind of research papers, competitive test or internships, make sure all those certificates are ready, scanned and there on the laptop to make the whole process seamless and easier for you. So all the documents need to be there before you start filling the form. Also, if you have certificates for your extracurricular activities like dancing, singing, MUNs, make sure that you have your certificates. In case if you feel that the top 5 achievements you have, one of them doesn't have a certificate, if you have a photograph or possibly a video, for example, if you play guitar and if you have a video where you are playing guitar in a concert or somewhere like a performance, you can use that as well for your extracurricular activities. Supporting documents if you are declaring a learning disability, mental health issue, physical disability or any such conditions. In case if you are declaring in the application form of any of these conditions, you would require to support it with the document. So make sure if you're putting it like a mental health, there would be a certificate given by the doctor in all the 3 cases. So make sure that particular document is available with you. Now let's go and see how the form filling looks like. Initially, when you log in, it will ask you your personal details. It will ask you about your name, your last name. It will even verify your mobile number because you will keep on getting updates from Krea University. Now, once you fill in the details, it will provide you with an email ID and it will give you your login details, which is your ID and your password. For me, I have already registered the information, so I will just go ahead and log into the form to show you how exactly the form looks like and how you need to go about filling the details. Once you log into the form, this is what exactly your dashboard would look like. Okay, it will give you certain details which would tell you that this particular form has 6 sections. It will also provide you in terms of the details, as in what exactly is mandatory. There will be asterisks mentioned, what exactly you need to be mentioned, and the important sections basically. Okay, it will also talk about the rounds. If you look at this particular section in the form, it is actually talking about when is the first round, when is the second round, the deadline, the assessment timeline, and all the interactions which will be go on, so on and so forth. So let's start with the application. Now, the beauty of Krea University application form is that you can take your time to fill in the application, and that's exactly what I would suggest you. Make sure that you have all your documents available. Make sure that you have everything ready before you start the form. Don't fill the form in a hurry because it is very crucial for your selection. The start of the form, Krea University is welcoming and giving you all the details in terms of, what exactly they are looking at. Now, if you see this particular section where the university is talking about what they value and what they are looking forward in a student, it is talking about open-mindedness, intellectual curiosity, empathy, teamwork, creativity, and self-awareness. So, while you are preparing for the university, work on all these qualities, make sure you develop the skills, you showcase the skills while you're writing your personal story, and increase the chances of getting selected. The first section of Krea University application form will be the personal story. Now, the personal story, Krea University is actually asking that we are keen to know about your life journey so far. This could include significant experiences in your life, the choices you have made, your success, and also what you may have learned from your failures. We want to understand the most distinctive part of you, your beliefs, your motivation, and your aspirations in life. Through this section, we want to be introduced to the person that you are and what you want to become. Now, this particular prompt clearly speaks about your life. They want to understand, not the student you, but your individuality. They want to understand your achievements, your failures. What about about your life journey, about what your likes and dislikes are, and how Krea University will help you to become the person you are. Make sure you stick to the prompts, and it is not only about the essay, and that's the beauty about the form. Krea University provides you an opportunity to do whatever you would like to present yourself and however you would like to present yourself. So if you want to write an essay, if you want to make a PPT, if you want to create a video, or anything you are comfortable doing, showcasing your talent. So let the creative juices flow and create, make sure you create something which will present yourself the best way. If you're making a video and trying to attach any kind of attachments to the form, the limit for 3 files will be 20 MB each. So it will be around 60 MB what you can use or you can attach to this particular application. Now, this is the first section, and moving on to the other. So the best part about it is that you can move sections with, you just need to fill the section and you can save and move to the next. The next section which Krea University is looking for is your personal details. Now, this is something which is very basic. Krea University is asking about your personal details, which would mean your name, your last name, your school details, your parents' details. And this is exactly what the form would ask you. So it will ask you for a photograph. Make sure that you have a very, you have a very clear photograph of nearly around 512 KB. Mention your first name, your last name, all the details, gender, your preferred pronouns, category, your email, phone number, basically all the basic details which would be required, specifically the country of residence and your passport number. The address section will ask you about your complete address. It will ask you about if you are a domicile of Andhra Pradesh. If you are, then please select the correct drop down from the list. Okay. It will ask you about your parents' details, parents' email ID, mobile number, and what exactly, they have studied, what exactly was the highest degree what they have received. So make sure you mention the highest degree for your parent, the level of education in terms of, the highest degree, as I did mention. Speak about the college or the institution they have attended, the current occupation, and which company they have worked. So it is pretty basic of, it's pretty self-explanatory if you are looking at the personal details form. Now, in case if you have any siblings, the sibling details section, you need to mention about your sibling details. The third section of the form, the university is actually asking about your academic details. Now, again, a very self-explanatory, information here, where they would want to understand about your actual scores. It will ask about your predictive scores. Now, a lot of you would be confused or might be having some questions about predictive scores. So predictive scores are something which you would be able to request your school, college to provide you with the same. So speak to your counselor or your administration staff in your college or school, and they will be able to provide you with the predictive scores. And also the details clearly mention that you can either provide self-predicted or school predicted scores, which means that in case if your school is not providing you with the predictive scores, you can predict it yourselves. A simple method of predicting your scores would be look out for your last prelim examination, what scores you have achieved, and see if you would be able to higher up the score. If you feel that you would be able to score possibly a 10% or 20% more, mention that particular score. Nobody would hold against the scores what you are putting, because you are predicting that you are going to achieve those scores, but make sure you are being realistic. Academic details is asking about your 11th standard score. So 11th standard, make sure that because it's 11th standard, you must have received your report card or your results. You mention all the details pretty clearly, starting with which country the school is, the 11th board you were in, the grading scheme. What exactly was the grading scheme? Was it marks? Was it grades? Or was it grade points? Also, which year you completed your 11th standard, which needs to be selected here. And also the transcript, which mean the predictive scores, which ideally you have received. Okay. And moving ahead, the 10th standard details, again, you would have a mark sheet of your 10th standard, which all needs to be updated here. If you see there are a lot of things which is important and mandatory. However, the transcript, what you are, basically the transcript, which is the mark sheet, it is not mandatory. However, it is advisable that you upload the same. The academic details are asking information from the 9th standard onwards. Okay, so the 9th standard onwards information, what you would provide, I am sure you would have the transcript or the mark sheet which school must have provided to you in the 9th standard. So make sure that you have your 9th standard mark sheet with you. While you are updating the information in your academic details, mention all the details about your 9th standard in terms of which school you were in, what board was it, what was the grading scheme, was it marks, was it grade, or was it grade pointers. The same thing would be applicable for your 10th standard as well. The transcripts are important, though it is not available. However, it is highly advisable that you upload the transcript for your 9th, 10th, and your 11th standard. All these three, the field is just the same. So just make sure that you have your information ready. The class 12th details, where the school is asking about the predictive scores, you need to mention when you would clear your 12th standard. For all the students who would be filling the Krea application form for this year, would be completing their 12th standard in 2024. So that is the year of completion for 12th. Which country your school is in, which class board, as in which class 12th board you are following, the grading scheme of your 12th standard, and most importantly, the transcript, which is again which is mandatory. Post that, you mention the school point of contact. So if you have, if the school is not providing you with the predictive scores and you are self-predicting your scores, make sure that you provide the counselor details. So if there is any contact person from your school or college whom Krea University can connect and or get the details from, please get the details of that particular administrative person. It can be a counselor, it can be anybody from the admin department. Your school or college will be able to help you out with this. So you need to make sure you get the contact person, as in the name of the contact person, the designation of the contact person, the mobile number, and the email address where Krea University can get in touch with the concerned person. Okay. Also, do mention this is this particular section. The last section of the academic detail is asking about the entrance test, or the test what you have actually appeared for. So in case if you have appeared for SAT, if you have appeared for ACT or none, you need to select the correct option there. The fourth section of the Krea University Liberal Studies form is speaking about your co-curriculars. Now, the instruction in the form is pretty self-explanatory, it's pretty detailed, where it's talking about the co-curricular activities, referring to activities that are academic in nature, but go beyond the academic curriculum. These may be activities that you take a deep dive into disciplines of your interest. Krea University strongly recommends that while you're filling the activities of co-curriculars which are academically inclined and non-academically inclined, you make sure that you have your certificate ready for it. Even if not a certificate, make sure that at least you have a photograph for that particular activity you are doing. And the co-curricular section is divided into the online certificate courses. So in case if you have been a part of any kind of online courses where it's a handwriting competition, it is MUNs, or it is anything related to an online course, make sure you are mentioning the topic. You talk about the website where you have done this particular course from, and also if you have earned the certificates. Even the university is aware a lot of websites or online courses don't provide you with the certificate. So in case if you don't have a certificate for a course, please mention that while you're filling the online course activities. The second section is talking about the research paper or honors assignment. The honors assignment, project, presentation, a research paper, anything what you have worked on. You can mention the topic, what you have worked on, and again the research paper or any documents or certificate which you have received for the same. The third section is the competitive test. For example, if you have been a part of Olympiads, regional, if it is regional or the state level, all need to be mentioned in terms of the level of your competition, what you are a part of. Where again the certificate or something which kind of gives a picture of you being a part of that particular event, that would be preferred. The fourth section of the form is talking about the internship. So if you have done internships, you make sure that you mention about the organization, what was the period of your internship, what was the designation, and write a little description in terms of what exactly your role demanded. With the internship certificate, I'm sure if you have done an internship, the company must have provided you with the same. The fifth section of the Krea University application form is speaking about the extracurricular activities. Now, extracurricular activities, if you look at the instructions here, it is clearly talking about the activities which are not academic. So anything which is not restricted to the achievement of academics. So it can be sports, music, art, dancing, drawing, anything which is not really academic inclined. They are encouraging you to share your literary performing arts achievements in regional languages, so even that is welcome. Krea University is asking you to list their 5 achievements. Now, if you have more than 5 achievements, make sure that you are putting it in the descending order, where if you have, for example, if you are presenting India on an international or a national level, that becomes your first achievement, and so on and so forth. Put your achievements in that order and make sure you put the certificates as well. So the extracurricular activity, the requirement would be the activity, the highest level of participation, which would mean that, again, as I did mention, on an international level, national level, state level, city level, inter-school level. So that's exactly would be the highest level of participation. What was the number of years? As in, if you are dancing, if you're possibly, for example, if you are doing Kathak, how long you have been performing or how long you have been learning. If it means months, you need to still mention it. Positions of responsibility and achievement. So in case if there is, if you have reached a level if you have reached a level in that particular activity, you need to mention it in that particular section. And the certificates again are very important. In case if you don't have the certificate, if you can provide a photograph or a video, that will also be preferred. However, make sure that you are attaching some sort of information in the file which is asking about your certificates or your collaterals. The fifth section of the Krea University form is asking about, do you have any condition that may result in an academic, educational, residential, or a social barrier in your learning environment or learning environment at Ashoka University. It is talking in case if you have any kind of, if you have any kind of health issues, if there is any condition which they are supposed to be aware of. If yes, you need to select it accordingly. And if it is yes, then you also need to mention the reason for it. If it is a physical condition, if it's a mental or a psychological disability, it is more preferred that you be truthful to the university and let them know about the situation. If there is nothing, then the simple answer is no. And then you can move on with the application. They would also ask about where you have heard about the Krea University. So if you have any presentations which is done in your school, please select the appropriate from the drop down. Okay. Have you implicated to any of the below activities? So in case if you have been suspended, I hope so not from your education institute, please make sure you select the right one. If it is yes, you will have to explain the reason. And if it is no, you need to move to the next section, which is talking about the expulsion from education institute. Again, a yes would require you to provide an explanation. With no, you can just move to, to the next. If there is any kind of criminal action taken, again, a yes would ask for an explanation, and no would just move to the next question. Now, there are two academic areas. Now, this particular section, Krea University, is asking about your preference in terms of subjects. And these are the subjects which you would be able to apply with Krea University. And if it's a joint major, if it's a major, your preferences need to be declared. Again, it's just a preference. It can be changed later depending upon your interest. So just mention the preference which you would want to select here. Moving on with the next section, where the Krea University would ask you to honor the pledge, where they're asking you that whatever information you have mentioned, it is true and you have made sure that you are not cheating in terms of the information. They're asking you for your consent. Post that, Krea University will ask you to make a payment of 100 rupees for the application. Once the payment is being made, once the details are uploaded, you would receive an email from the Krea University mentioning that the payment is being made, and the rest of the details will be provided to you in regards with the Krea aptitude test.